is going on, guys? Jesse504 here, bringing you my Week 6 matchup in the Westeros International League. This week, we're going up against the Chicago White Sox, coached by Emp, and this team is pretty threatening. For starters, it has Ditto, and this entire week I was like, okay, how do I beat Ditto? It's been a lot of cross-calcing, like, between my mons to see what exactly handles Ditto. Thankfully, a lot of my mons are checked by my other mons, which is really good. So, Ditto is it's still threatening because it limited the way, because I wanted to run Dual Dance Lando T, but I just couldn't, and I wanted to run Iron Defense Registeel, but I also just couldn't because of that Ditto. It was just a major annoyance. Doug Triololo was kind of just an annoying threat during prep, and I feel like I have ways to beat it though, which is good. It's a possible lead. I see it potentially coming because it's just a little bit faster than my Infernape, so it could do something with that. Up next is Gastrodon. Don't see it coming. I don't have a really strong water type attacker, so it could try to come, but I don't really see why it would be necessary. Incineroar, this thing could definitely come as just like a nice bulky support option for the team, just because it resists, or does pretty well against Mega Alakazam in theory if I don't have Focus Blast. And then but other than that, the matchup really isn't too great. Komao is just a very versatile mon. I'm not really sure. I think it's running most likely some form of boosting set, so I have to have a way to play around that. Alolan Ninetales here to set Veil, which is somewhat annoying. Although, again, I feel like I have ways to play around it. Noivern, fast, and just fast dragon type mon. Not really sure if it's going to come this week, just because Coco is faster and can drop it. But it's reliable, I guess. Rabombi could come and set webs this week, because I do have a fairly fast team with the Mega Alakazam, and the Coco maybe thinks that hazards with webs are viable against me, so that could be something to see. Sharpedo Mega is somewhat of an annoyance, although my fast threats do outspeed it, but it does have that speed boost ability to really get going. Makes me want to pack an extra Scarfer or just some extra defensive mons, which I feel like I did well. Shinotic, it's just an annoyance, although it just gets OHKO'd by a poison move, and I do pack those. And then Zero Aura. Another great, fast, hard-hitting mon. I fully expect it to come, physical or special. I'm not really sure. I'm leaning towards maybe a more special Zero Aura, but that's just because of the other things that are on the team. As far as the hazards go from the other team, they got Rockers and some Defog, and then Sticky Webs. Although I'm not really sure if the Defoggers come, because I don't know if Noivern comes, and Rabombi could come, but I don't know if it wants to Defog. And then Rocks, I fully anticipate on the Dougie. I think that's coming. It has a fairly decent matchup against me. As far as clerics go, Alolan Ninetales, Rabombi can both heal the team of status, although there isn't any wish passing. And then as far as priority goes, we got just a decent bit from the other side, but not really a lot of it's worth running outside of maybe Mega Sharpedo's Aqua Jet and then the Sucker Punch and the Fake Out. So let's go into my team. So obviously I had a kind of a challenging week of prep because I've had a tough week, just a lot of tests, so I don't really know if I'm putting my best foot forward on this prep, but I really like it. And I started off my prep this week with DRAGALGE. Choice specs, adaptability, Sludge Wave, Draco, Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt. There just really isn't a good switch in for this thing, and that's kind of why I wanted to pack it, because Dragon plus Poison Stabs are really good because those fairies that want to come in, they just can't because of that Sludge Wave threatening to OHKO both of them. And then Draco just does a heavy margin on the rest. Not really sure if the fairies come this game because they're both weak to fire, which I have an Infernape that's just came every week and put in some decent work if it has to. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And then just very simple EVs, just hit hard, take hits, especially from that special side. Up next, Tapu Koko Scarf this week to try to either speed tie Scarf Ditto or outspeed Mega Sharp at +1 or outspeed a non-Scarf Zero Aura, which it could come for the Mega Alakazam. CC player of Wild Charge U-turn. Um, Again, the only real switch into this thing is potentially the Zero Aura, although nothing on the team really wants to eat a play rough from this Coco, which is really nice. And just kind of why I decided to grab it. The coverage makes it hit everything really hard, although I'm just going to have to be a little conscious against the Dougie. Lando T is really nice this week. Intimidate, because a lot of the threats are physical. That's a really nice ability this week. I'm running bulky Lando T over Dual Dance. That was the other option that I was really considering this week, just because of that Ditto being a pain in the ass. And then just Rocks, Defog, U-turn, EQ. This way it took my burden off so that I didn't have to pack Refrigerator or Ice Table, because I didn't really like their matchups, and so that allowed me to put Defog on here. And then Registeel I wanted to bring, but I also didn't see it with the greatest matchup just because of the types on the other team. And if Ditto transforms into it, it can't Toxic that thing, which would be kind of annoying. But then just Stealth Rock, Defog, U-turn, EQ is solid. Up next, Infernate, just hitting hard. I'm contemplating whether or not to go Brick Break, because the screens on the other team could be kind of annoying with the Aurora Veil, but I'm not really sure. I think I can play around them just fine. So I think just close combat for the damage is going to be better, because if we look at the team, actually, you know what? What would I need to close combat that Brick Break doesn't KO? It would just be the Incineroar, which I can EQ. So, yeah, I think Brick Break for the screens is going to be better. And then Choice Band still means I'm going to do a lot of damage. Up next, my Mega Alakazam. Shadow Ball, Psychic, D-Gleam, Calm Mind. Not clicking Calm Mind until the Ditto comes. That's just my main thing, is that until Ditto comes out and is dead, no Calm Minds from me. Because I don't want a Ditto with Calm Minds up, because this Mega Alakazam is fast, it hits hard. I really just don't know what I would do if it gets Calm Minds up freely and is holding a Choice Scarf. So, that's kind of the problem. And then lastly, I have my Dusclops. Haze, Pain Split, Toxic Protect. Very simple Dusclops. Haze is there for the for the Coma-O. I really think that thing is setting up in some way, so being able to haze it back to normal is good. That's really what this thing is mostly for, is the Coma-O, although it just has a solid defensive matchup with the EV Light, takes hits like a boss. So this is my team. I'll see you guys in the battle. Opponent just sent us the challenge. Let's get into it. Okay, instant things, no Ditto. Boom. Mega Alakazam has an easier time Calm Minding up. Some things to note: I expect that Ribombee lead. I think that just leading Coco is probably my safest bet. Can always U-turn out. Could be an Incineroar lead as well. Never know. But I just like a Coco lead here. See an instant Como lead. I'm just gonna click Play Rough. Nothing really wants to switch into a Play Rough, which is really nice because, I mean, Ribombee, I guess, is the best switch in, but I don't even know how much physical defense that thing has. So, cool, instant KO on the Como-O, one of the scarier mons for me this week. I'm not really sure what exactly this thing wants to do, so I'm just going to switch into my Dusclops. Sticky Webs, that's fine. I was contemplating just clicking Play Rough there again, but I don't know, maybe that was some form of Como. Maybe they just... Cool, intimidates me. I'm perfectly fine just clicking Toxic there. Now I'm just going to go into my Lando. I'm comfortable just defogging here, getting rid of those webs that would otherwise be somewhat annoying for my team. As well, he could just be fearing an EQ, although I think that I'm revealed to be just bulky Lando. And I assume he's somewhat of a bulkier Incineroar as well. Not having recovery on my Lando is going to be kind of annoying for the rest of the game, but it's leftovers. It probably wouldn't have done too much. Goes into the Ribombi. Cool. I'm just going to U-turn out. Probably into the DRAGALGE. There just really isn't a good switch in for that thing. Goes for the Moonblast. Alright. I will U-turn out. Probably just into the DRAGALGE. And just go for a nice Sludge Wave. Nothing really wants to take one of those. My special defense is fairly high in Ribombi. Its special attack is decent. Not quite insane. And nothing really can take a Sludge Wave too well on this team. Any Focus Sash it would have had is now broken. So, just very safe DRAGALGE. Sludge Wave here. I'm not really sure what exactly this thing wants to do, but I kind of just, I don't want to risk anything. Goes for the knockoff. Okay, it's fine. At this point, play rough is pretty free. U-turn's also just fine. Cool. Crit that. I'm not really sure if that matters. I'm just going to go out into my, let's see. I don't really know what exactly comes out on his end. I'm just going to go into my Infernape. Unfortunately, Infernape is just slower than the Ninetales. But, I'm not really sure. I think just Brick Break will be fine here. Go straight for the Moonblast, alright. So Fire Punch would have KO'd. I'm just gonna... Infernape's too slow to really do anything for the rest of this game, so I'm not too sad about losing it. And now this thing is chipped down pretty low. And if it wants to set Veil now on me, it can't. And yeah, so if I just went for the safer Fire Punch, I would have KO'd. Or if I packed CC, I would have KO'd. But I was expecting just maybe a Veil there, which is why I went Brick Break. Pretty safe play. Now goes for the Veil. We break that down. That was probably the most ideal situation that could have went for us. Goes into the Ribombi. You see, now there are no Sludge Wave switch-ins. Okay, I'm fine losing this because show me your switch-in for a Sludge Wave. And that's why this DRAGALGE is so good this week, was because the team just... See, that didn't do enough. There goes the Ribombi. This thing's going to get chipped down a little bit, but I'm not really sure. I guess maybe it could be packing Psychic Fangs, which would be kind of annoying. But Ice Fang. No freeze, no freeze. There goes the Sharpedo. Now at this point, Zeraora comes out. Scarf Zeraora could be a potential pain. I don't really want to give it free terrain, so I think I'm just not going to go Coco if I don't have to. Just go straight for the fists. I assume he has knockoff, but I'm just going to Toxic. Oh, it is Choice Scarf. I frisked that. Cool. Toxic there. Now I'm just going to stall it out. Okay. So yeah, that's the game. I think Dusclops just is able to stall that out. So, yeah, looks like just a winning matchup there. So all in all, yeah, I think the last kill will go to Dusclops, but I'm not really sure. I'll just ask the league about that. And so just a pretty successful match because the switch-ins just weren't really there. Mega Alakazam didn't need to do anything this week other than sit back and be a threat. I probably could have played a little bit better, saved my Lando T, saved my Infernate, but honestly, I think that I made the right plays with the Brick Break, 50-50s, so that was solid. And then just, I feel like my prep was solid with the Dragalge, having good, just no real answer for it this week because the dual stab just meant that it would do a lot. And until next time, Jesse504, out.